Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, February 25th, 2022. Today's show is absolutely loaded. College basketball, NBA, NHL, golf, NASCAR. We're going to do college football future coaches today. News and notes. We'll talk a little American Idol as that's coming back on Sunday, and best bet. All right, we'll start with college basketball. We'll recap the games from yesterday, and we will look ahead to tonight and the rest of the weekend's games. One of the last big weekends of the regular season with some teams going to a conference tournament starting next week. Fairleigh Dickinson over Wagner 88-86, and overtime Northeastern over William & Mary 62-28. Wait, is that really a score? Was that really a score? Holy crap. Sorry, guys. I had to double check to make sure that was a real score. Central Michigan over Miami of Ohio, 83-69. Memphis over Temple, 78-64. Middle Tennessee over Marshall, 74-65. Old Dominion over FAU, 70-51. Charlotte over FIU, 64-55. Bryan over St. Brooklyn, 86-69. Sacred Heart over Mount St. Mary, 77-65. LIU over Merrimack, 85-74. St. Fran, PA over Central Connecticut, 79-63. Winthrop over SC Upstate, 89-59. Wright State over Youngstown State, 84-71. Northern Kentucky over Robert Morris, 78-64. Purdue Fort Wayne over Oakland, 81-70. Detroit over Cleveland State, 74-67. Western Illinois over Omaha, 88-76. Alon over Hofstra, 81-55. UNC Wilmington over Drexel, 69-63. Charleston over Delaware, 99-96. Siena over Quinnipiac, 78-71. Indiana over Maryland, 74-64. Stephen F. Austin over Sam Houston, 69-67. Buffalo over Northern Illinois, 79-68. DePaul over Georgetown, 68-65. Southeast Missouri State over Tennessee Martin, 76-69. UAB over UTSA, 68-56. North Texas over Southern Miss, 85-61. Louisiana Tech over Rice, 83-79. Idaho State over Northern Arizona, 70-66. Eastern Washington over Northern Colorado, 85-76. Houston Baptist over Incarnate Word, 82-68. Utah Valley over Seattle, 67-52. Tarleton over Texas Rio Grande, 75-62. Abilene Christian over Lamar, 77-42. Milwaukee over IUPUI, 66-54. UIC over Green Bay, 81-77. South Dakota State over Oral Roberts, 106-102 in overtime. UMKC over South Dakota, 72-63. Denver over St. Thomas, Minnesota, 91-80. Morehead State over Eastern Illinois, 82-46. Nichols over Northwestern State, 80-62. A&M Corpus Christi over McNeese, 65-53. Number 1 Gonzaga over San Francisco, 89-73. Number 22 Ohio State over number 15 Illinois, 86-83. Number 19 Murray State over Belmont, 76-43. Arizona State over Colorado, 82-65. UC Santa Barbara over UC Davis, 76-69 in overtime. Tennessee State over Tennessee Tech, 92-56. Austin Peay over SIU Edwardsville, 68-64 in overtime. Southern Utah over Montana, 84-72. Southeast Louisiana over New Orleans, 84-79. Cal Baptist over Dixie State, 71-61. Oregon upsets number 12 UCLA, 68-63. Number 23 St. Mary's over San Diego, 60-46. Riverside over Northridge, 79-57. Long Beach State over UC San Diego, 103-87. Fullerton over Irvine, 66-64. Portland State over Weber State, 81-75. Sac State over Idaho, 83-51. BYU over Loyola Marymount, 79-59. Portland over Pacific, 75-69. Santa Clara over Pepperdine, 89-73. Number 2 Arizona over Utah, 97-77. Number 16 USC over Oregon State, 94-91 in double overtime. And Hawaii over Cal Poly, 63-54. Now we look ahead to the games for tonight. 6 o'clock, you have Akron and Ohio. My projection is Ohio by 8.25, total 136.4. I made some adjustments with my projections as we head into conference tournament play next week. And we got 8 and 134.5. Slight over. Harvard, Princeton on ESPN News. My projection is Princeton by 6 3/8, total 145.25. And it's 8 and 142. Over. UL Monroe and Georgia Southern. My projection is Southern by 3 7/8, total 136.75, and it's 3 and 135.5. Slight over. Louisiana and Georgia State. My projection is State by 5 1/4, total 138.55, and it is 6.5 and 139.5. Slight Louisiana. St. Louis and Richmond on ESPN2. My projection is Richmond by 2 5/8, total 143 3/4. And we got 3 and 143 1/2. Slight St. Louis. But don't really feel great about it. Niagara and Ryder. My projection is Ryder by 6 7/8, total 135-35. And it's Ryder by a half, total 131 1/2. I'm going to lay the half with Ryder. Manhattan Marist. My projection here is Marist by 4 7/8, total 141-3. This game's on ESPNU. And it's 4.5 and 140 1/2. Slight over. The New Jersey Bowl, St. Peter's Monmouth. My projection is Monmouth by 5, total 134-35. And we got 4 and 131 1/2. Over. Canisius and Iona. My projection is Iona by 23 1/2, total 142-65. And it's 15.5 and 143 1/2. I'm going to lay to 15.5 with Iona. Northwestern and Penn State. Fox Sports 1. My projection is Penn State by 1 3/4, total 136. And it's 1.5 and 120 1/2. Over. 7:30, Coastal Carolina and Little Rock. My projection is Coastal by 2 2/4, total 138-15. And we got 7.5 and 137 1/2. Oh, I'm taking Little Rock plus the points. Eight o'clock. UT Arlington, South Alabama. My projection is South Alabama by 10 3/4. 10 7/8. Total 134.7. And we got 7.5 and 131 1/2. I'm going to lay the points with South Alabama. App State, Arkansas State. My projection is Arkansas State by 3/4, total 134. And it's 2 and 132. Over. Number 25, Iowa at Nebraska on Fox Sports 1. My projection is Iowa by 6.5, total 153.1. And it's 12 and 161 1/2. Nebraska and the under is a nice combination, but I trust the under more in Nebraska, so I'm going to go with the under. Texas State and Troy on ESPN2. My projection is Texas State by 3, total 133.75, and we got 2 and 127 1/2. I'm going to take the over. And last but not least, 11 o'clock, San Jose State, San Diego State. Wonder if this is Fox Sports 1 as well. My projection is San Diego State by 18 3/4, so 129.75. And it's 22 and 126 1/2. I'm going to take the... Oh, boy. I'm going to go with San Jose State getting the 22. I don't like the pick, though. Yeah, a lot of these lines are very close today. And now we'll look ahead to the weekend. All right, Saturday, 12 o'clock, ESPN, number 4, Purdue at Michigan State. Binghamton, New Hampshire. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma on CBS. CBS Sports Network, you have Atlanta Northeastern. ESPNU, you have Miami of Ohio and Toledo. ESPN2, you have Florida and Georgia. 12:30 on USA Network, Duquesne, Rhode Island. 1 o'clock on Fox, Butler, Marquette. Mount St. Mary's, Connecticut Central. Maine, UMBC. North Florida, Stetson. Kennesaw State, Liberty. Jacksonville, Florida Gulf Coast. Bellarmine, Eastern Kentucky. Purdue, Fort Wayne, Detroit Mercy. Furman, the Citadel. SEC Network, Vandy, Mississippi State. 2 o'clock CBS, number 6 Kentucky at number 18 Arkansas. ESPN2, number 20 Texas at West Virginia. BU Bucknell, Army Holy Cross. Lehigh Lafayette, Loyola American. Navy Colgate, Merrimack St. Fran Brooklyn, St. Fran PA Sacred Heart, Fairleigh Dickinson LIU. Hampton High Point. ESPN, North Carolina NC State. Yale Cornell, Penn Dartmouth, NJIT Hartford. Central Arkansas Lipscomb, North Alabama Jacksonville State. ESPNU, Iowa State, Kansas State. Dayton, LaSalle, North Dakota State, North Dakota. William & Mary Hofstra, Northern Illinois, Buffalo. Fordham, Davidson at 2:30. 3 o'clock, New Mexico State, Chicago State. Virginia Tech, Miami. ACC Network, Clemson, Boston College. Cleveland State, Oakland. Denver, Western Illinois. 3:30 on Fox, Seton Hall, Xavier. Florida A&M, Grambling, Eastern Michigan, Ball State. SEC Network, Texas A&M, Ole Miss. 4 o'clock, ESPN, number 3, Auburn, and number 17, Tennessee. That's a decent game. CBS, number 12, UCLA at Oregon State. Why is Oregon State on CBS? They're terrible. NC Central, Howard. Tulsa, East Carolina. Kelsey Fullerton, UC San Diego. Coppin State, Maryland Eastern. Louisiana Tech, North Texas. FAU, Charlotte. Weber State, Northern Arizona. New Orleans. Northwestern State. Cal Baptist, Utah Valley. Wagner Bryant. Gardner-Webb, SC Upstate. Charleston Southern, Winthrop. Florida State, Virginia on ESPN2. UMass Lowell, Vermont. Southern Illinois, Drake on CBS Sports Network. Indiana State, Illinois State. Sanford, Chattanooga, UNC, Wilmington, Delaware. Charleston, Drexel. Towson, James Madison. Air Force, New Mexico. Morehead State. SIU, Edwardsville, 4:30. Ossipee, Eastern Illinois. Morgan State, Delaware State. Presbyterian, UNC, Asheville. Longwood, Campbell. VCU, UMass. 4:45, Green Bay, IUPUI. 5 o'clock, number 19, Murray State at SC, Missouri State. Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Nichols, Southeast Louisiana, Incarnate Word, McNeese. Abilene Christian, Stephen Foston. San Francisco, San Diego, Portland, Santa Clara. Radford, NC&T. ACC Network, Georgia Tech, Notre Dame. Missouri State, Evansville. Western Michigan, Bowling Green. 6 o'clock, ESPN, number 7, Duke at Syracuse. ESPN2, number 9, Texas Tech at TCU. Big Ten Network, number 13, Wisconsin at Rutgers. SEC Network, South Alabama at number 24, Alabama. South Carolina at number 24, Alabama. SC State, Norfolk State, Wazoo, Washington on Pac-12 Network. Tennessee State, Belmont. Columbia, Brown, Loyola, Chicago, Northern Iowa on ESPNU. CBS Sports Network, St. Bonaventure, St. Joe's. 6:30, Bethune-Cookman, Southern. Miss Valley State, Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Alcorn State, Prairie View. Albany, Stony Brook. 7 o'clock, South Florida, South and Cincinnati. Southern Miss Rice. FIU, Old Dominion. WKU, Middle Tennessee. Louisville, Wake Forest on ACC Network. Youngstown State, Northern Kentucky. Robert Morris, Wright State. VMI, Western Carolina. Mercer, Wofford. Kent State, Central Michigan. Pacific, Loyola, Marymount at 7:30. 8 o'clock, ESPN2, number 2, Arizona at Colorado. ESPN, game of the night. Number 5, Kansas and number 10, Baylor. Game day will be there. Great game. Best 2 teams in the Big 12. Santa Barbara, Riverside. Northridge, Davis. Idaho, Northern Colorado. A&M, Corpus Christi, Houston Baptist. Sam Houston, Grand Canyon. Lamar, Tarleton. Pepperdine, BYU, and ESPNU. Milwaukee, UIC. Valpo, Bradley. South Dakota, Oral Roberts. South Dakota State, UMKC. Omaha, St. Thomas. Nevada, Wyoming on CBS Sports Network. Fox Sports 1 at 8:30. Creighton at number 11, Providence. Jackson State, Texas Southern. Pac-12 Network, Stanford, Cal. UT Martin, Tennessee Tech. SEC Network, Missouri, LSU. 9 o'clock, UAB, UTEP. Seattle, Dixie State. Number 1, Gonzaga, and number 23, St. Mary's. 10 o'clock on ESPN. That's another big game. The Dave Pasch, Bill Walton game on ESPN2. Number 16, USC at Oregon. So they back-to-back with Oregon. ESPNU, Arizona State, Utah. Idaho State, Portland State. Eastern Washington, Sac State. CBS Sports Network, Boise State, UNLV. 10:30, Colorado State, Utah State. ESPNU, Long Beach, UC Irvine. And Cal State, Bakersfield, and Hawaii. And now Sunday's games. 12 o'clock, CBS, number 21, UConn at Georgetown. Princeton, Harvard. ESPN, 12:30, SMU, number 14, Houston. 1 o'clock, Canisius, Quinnipiac. 2 o'clock, CBS. Number 15, Illinois at Michigan. Fairfield, Manhattan, Niagara, St. Peter's. Monmouth, Siena, Iona, Ryder. 2:30, ESPN. Wichita State, Memphis. USA, George Washington, George Mason. 3 o'clock, ESPNU, Tulane Temple. 4 o'clock, CBS, number 22, Ohio State at Maryland. East Tennessee State, UNC Greensboro. 5 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, St. John's, DePaul. Montana State, Montana. Indiana and Minnesota on ESPN2 at 6 o'clock. By the way, Montana State, Montana is on ESPNU at 5. And then 7 o'clock, you have on the Big Ten Network, Nebraska and Penn State. All right, now NBA time. We will look back on last night's games, and we will look ahead to tonight's and the rest of the weekend's games. Pistons over the Cavs, 106-103. Celtics over the Nets, 129-106. Bulls over the Hawks, 112-108. Timberwolves over the Grizzlies, 119-114. Suns over the Thunder, 124-104. Warriors over the Blazers, 132-95. And the Nuggets over the Kings, 128-110. And now tonight's games. 7 o'clock, you have the Raptors and the Hornets. My projections, Charlotte by 3/4, so 222.05. And we got Toronto by 2, total 226, under. Thunder Pacers, my projection is Indy by 1 1/4, total 215.35, and it's 7.5 and 220.5. I love. Oh my God. I don't know whether to go with the under or. Now I gotta go with OKC plus 7.5. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Indiana's that big of a favorite. Total. Everyone loves Tyrese Halliburton. I get it, but SGA's pretty good too. Don't forget that guy. The Rockets and the Magic. My projections are Orlando by 1.5, total 219. Meanwhile, it's 3.5 and 232.5 under. Spurs Wizards. My projection is the Spurs. Yes, the Spurs by 3/4, total 220.2. And it's 3 and 223.5. So the Spurs are favored here. And for the podcast pick, I'm going to go with the under. 7:30, ESPN, the Heat and the Knicks. I want to know who's calling this game. If I had to guess, probably not Mike Breen and them. It's probably going to be Ryan Rucco or something like that. But my projection is Heat by 4, total 212.5, and we got 5.5 and 211. So the numbers are very close, but at gunpoint, where do I go? I'll go with the. I hate the pick, but I'm gonna go with the under. I just can't take the Knicks as a slight edge because I think the Knicks could very well continue their implosion in the second half of the season. 8 o'clock, the 76ers and the Timberwolves. James Harden's first game as a Sixer. My projection is Philly 2, total 219.3, and it is 2.5 and 229. I love James Harden, but I'm going under. 9 o'clock, Pelicans Suns. My projection is Phoenix by 10, total 217.55, and we got 7.5 and 228. Under. No Chris Paul. Mavs Jazz. My projection is Jazz by 4 1/4, so 215.25, and it's 5.5 and 217. Slight under. And 10:30 ESPN, or 10 o'clock ESPN, the Clippers and the Lakers. If I had to guess this one, probably Dave Pasch and Richard Jefferson or something like that. And in the first game, probably Ryan Rucco-Dorsberg. And my projection is Lakers 3.5, total 219 or 218.95, and it is 1.5 and 221.5. I'm gonna go again with the under. I've been loving these NBA unders of late. And now Saturday's games. 12 o'clock, the Celtics at the Pistons. 7:30, the Raptors at the Hawks. 8 o'clock, the Wizards at the Cavs. Spurs, Heat. Grizzlies, Bulls. 8:30, primetime ABC. Nets, Bucks. That game should not be on ABC. But if Kyrie Irving plays, okay. But that game should not be on ABC. Kevin Durant's not there. James Harden got traded. So I think the Nets should be abandoned from ABC. I mean, ESPN, fine, but ABC, as long as all your stars are there. I mean, I think this is going to be an absolute blowout. And obviously it's going to be Mike Breen, Mark Jackson, and Jeff Van Gundy. on the call. And then 9 o'clock, you have the Kings and the Nuggets. Sunday, 1 o'clock, ABC, 76ers, Knicks. This game shouldn't be on ABC either. The Knicks have no business being on ABC. This game, is there a possibility that Ryan Ruocco is going to be calling a game on ABC? I think so. And Jazz Suns at ABC 3:30. So that game will probably... So what I think is going to happen is that Dave Pasch will probably have Jazz Suns. And it's going to be Mark Jones and Doris Burke doing the 2 Knick games. And then Mike Breen and them doing the Bucks. But if Mike Breen... I know I'm going to go on a tangent here. But if Mike Breen's on the Knicks game instead of Brooklyn-Milwaukee... I know the Nets aren't the same now. But let's face it, it's favoritism if Mike Breen's doing the Knicks. Like, it was complete favoritism that he was doing the Knicks game. That game where they blew the 30-point lead against Brooklyn before the All-Star break. So, we'll see there. 5 o'clock, Celtics, Pacers. 7 o'clock, Pistons, Hornets. Clippers, Rockets. 7:30, ESPN, Mavs, Warriors. This is probably going to be Ryan Ruocco and somebody. And then 9 o'clock, Nuggets, Trailblazers, and 10 o'clock, ESPN, the Pelicans and the Lakers. I mean, this is crazy that there's 4 games on the ESPN ABC networks. So, Mike Breen's got to be doing one of these games. I mean, do they go to Golden State or do they fly out there? I mean, I could see, but if I had to make my guesses, I'm going to say Mark Jones and Doris Burke do the 2 Knicks home games. The 2 Laker home games will be Dave Pasch. Mike Breen will do the Saturday night game. Ryan Ruocco gets Mavs Warriors. And maybe, I'm going to say Breen, Van Gundy, and Jackson end up with Jazz Suns. And then Dave Pasch stays with Pels Lakers. Or does Bob Wischusen maybe get a game or something? We'll see. It's going to be very interesting to see who they pick to do these games for sure. Alrighty, now we move on to hockey. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a tangent about announcers. And we're going to do so here. Not a tangent, but like talk about who's announcing some these hockey games over the weekend. So we'll go over last night's results. Maple Leafs over the Wild 3-1. Blue Jackets over the Panthers 6-3. Rangers over the Caps 4-1. Devils over the Pens 6-1. Preds over the Stars 2-1 in the shootout. Canucks over the Flames 7-1. Bruins over the Kraken 3-2 in overtime, and the Sharks over the Isles 4-3 in a shootout. All right, tonight's games 7 o'clock ESPN Plus. The Blue Jackets and the Canes. The Jackets have actually been hot of late, but they're 3-1 dogs at the Hurricanes. Canes are -385 over under 6.5. Overs -122. Unders even money. Columbus +1.5 is +114. Carolina -1.5 is -140. I'm going to go with the under here. I think that this is a lower scoring game than you think. Columbus's goaltending's been better in the streak, so I'm going to go under. 8 o'clock, the Sabres at the Blues. The Blues are -350. The Sabres are +275 over under 6. Overs -106. Unders -114. Buffalo +1.5 is +106. Blues -1.5 is -130. I'm going to go over 6. 8:30 NHL Network. Devils Blackhawks. Blackhawks -140. Devils +116 over under 6.5 -110 Detroit. Devils +1.5 is -215. Blackhawks -1.5 is +172. I love the over in this game. I think this will be a high scoring game. Give me the over in Devils Blackhawks. 9 o'clock, the Jets and the Avalanche. The Avs are -295. The Jets are +235 over under 6.5. Overs -118. Unders -105. Avs -1.5 is -128. Jets +1.5 is +102. I'm going to go under 6.5 and -105. First one, I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. 9:30, Golden Knights, Coyotes. Vegas -310, Coyotes +245 over under 6, overs -106, unders -114. Vegas -1.5 is -112, Coyotes +1.5 is -108. I'm going to go with the over here. I think that, I know this is Vegas the second time in Arizona this season. I think that same outcome will happen again, over. And 10 o'clock, you have the Kings and the Ducks from Anaheim. Kings are -118, Ducks are -102, over under 5.5, overs -120, unders -102. Kings -1.5 is +225. Ducks +1.5 is -290. The Ducks have kind of fallen off a little bit. I think this is a good spot for them to get right against a rival. So I'm going to go with the Ducks -102 against the Kings. Saturday, 12:30 on ESPN Plus. You have the Oilers and the Panthers. NHL Network, Capitals, Flyers. 3 o'clock, ABC, Rangers, Penguins. So how about this with the two teams that play at Madison Square Garden? The Rangers and the Knicks. Last night, the Rangers were on ESPN. Tonight, the Knicks are on ESPN. Tomorrow, the Rangers are on ABC. And Sunday, the Knicks are on ABC. So it's like a Disney weekend for the two MSG tenants. So calling this game on ABC will be Sean McDonough and Ray Ferraro. So I guess those are like the lead. That is the lead pretty much. I think Pittsburgh will probably win this game. Rangers come off the big win. Penguins come off the loss. I think that Pittsburgh will probably win this game. And I wouldn't be shocked if it's by multiple goals. So Penguins and over would be like a potential play for tomorrow. 7 o'clock, you have the Canadiens and the Senators. 7:30 TNT, you have the Lightning and the Predators. Stadium series from Nissan Stadium. So you think this is Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk calling this game. If I had to make a pick blindly, I kind of think Nashville is going to win this game because of the home ice advantage. I think their fans are going to be rowdy. So I'm going to go with the Preds in that one. 7:30 of the Maple Leafs and the Red Wings. 10 o'clock, the Wild and the Flames. The Avs and the Golden Knights. The Bruins and the Sharks. And then 10:30 of the Islanders and the Kings from Crypto.com Arena. Sunday, 1 o'clock, NHL Network, Oilers, Hurricanes. 2 o'clock, Sabres, Stars. 3 o'clock, Blue Jackets, Blackhawks. 4 o'clock, Jets, Coyotes. 6 o'clock, Pens, Jackets. 7:30, Canucks, Rangers. 8:30, NHL Network, Islanders, Ducks. And 10 o'clock, you have the Kraken and the Sharks. All right, now we'll go over the current leaderboard for the Honda Classic. It's an interesting look right now, to say the least. And on top, with a score of 6 under, is a two-way tie between Kurt Kitayama and my pick of Daniel Berger. Tied for third with 5 under, you have Rory Sabatini and Chris Kirk. Tied for fifth with 3 under, Peter Yulin, Aaron Ray, Roger Sloan, Stefan Yeager, and Andrew Kozane. Tied for 10th with 2 under. It's a pretty big group. Mito Pereira, Dylan Fratelli, Cam Young, Brett Horschel, Brooks Koepka, Patrick Rogers, William McGirt, Dylan Wu, Martin Contanini, Danny Willett, Taylor Pendrith, Matthias Schwab, and David Lipsky. Tied for 23rd at 1 under. Now we're going to go through notables because time restrictions here. Lucas Glover, Tommy Fleetwood, Brock Hostler, Russell Knox, my B.U. Hostler, my bad. Christian Ziedenhout, Ryan Palmer. Tied for 37th at evens, a pretty big group too. Cheng-Sun Pong, Shane Lowry, JT Potson, Charles Howell III, Brock Stewart, Patrick Reed, Joaquin Neiman, Mackenzie Hughes, Mariano Glovic, Matthew Neesmith, Lee Westwood, Gary Woodland, Alex Naren, Keith Hickok, or Kramer Hickok. I've been getting the name for a minute now. Kevin Strillman, tied for 60th with 1 over Bryce Garnett, Sam Ryder, Sepp Straka, Henry Higgs, J.J. Spawn, Jonathan Vegas, Vincent Taylor, Lucas Hodges, Ian Poulter, Ricky Fowler, Chris Koepka, Brendan Steele, Cam Thompson. Tied for 80th with 2 over Lucas Donald, Adam Cook, Dylan McCarthy, Lucas Herbert, Keith Mitchell, Taylor Moore. Tied for 99th with 3 over, Nate Taylor, Doc Redman. Tied for 107th with 4 over, Zach Johnson, Brendan Todd, Camilo Vegas, Kanku Lee. Tied for 117th with 5 over, Vincent Whaley, Richie Wierenski, Sunjay Im. Tied for 125th with 6 over, Luis Olson, Matt Jones. Tied for 133rd with 7 over, Tyson McCumber. Tied for 137th with 8 over, Stuart Sink, Sodi Kadiara, Hudson Swafford. And tied for 143rd with 10 overs, Matt Wolf and Fabian Gomez. All right, now we're going to preview and pick the winners of the 2 NASCAR races this weekend. And they will be racing from Phoenix. Or no, I'm sorry, it's California. Auto Club Speedway. So first up, we have the Xfinity race tomorrow, 5 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. I'm going to see if the starting lineup is out. And it doesn't look like it. So we're just going to go through the odds on DraftKings. DraftKings has better NASCAR odds than FanDuel, as I say each and every Friday when I do NASCAR on the show. So the Production Allianz 300, Ty Gibbs is a plus 350 favorite. Noah Gragson 6-1, AJ Allmendinger 7-1, Justin Allgaier plus 750, Daniel Hemrick 8-1, Josh Berry 10-1, Brandon Jones and Trevor Bayne 14-1, Sam Meyer and Mayette Snyder 16-1, 18-1 Landon Castle, 20-1 Cole Custer, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, and Riley Herbst, 25-1 Brett Moffitt, 31 Anthony Alfredo, 50-1 you have Jeb Burton, Brandon Brown, Ryan Sieg, Kaz Gralla, 60-1 Alex Lab, 80-1 J.D. Buford and Jeremy Clements, 100-1 Tommy Joe Martins and Kyle Sieg, 150-1 Harrison Rhodes, Stephon Parsons, Josh Williams, 250-1 Ryan Vargas, Mason Massey, 300-1 J.J. Yaley, 500-1 Dexter Bean, Bailey Curry, Will Rogers, Timmy Hill, Matt Mills, Joey Gase, Joe Graf Jr., Jesse Iwuji, and 1,001 Jeffrey Earnhardt and Kyle Weatherman. So my pick for the Fontana race here, this is a tough one. I am going to go with Daniel Hemrick at 8-1 to win the Production Allianz 300. And now the Cup Series starting lineup. I'm going to look up to see if the starting lineup is out. Let's see. I think they do qualifying tonight. I'm just going to go through the odds here for the Auto Club Wise Power 400. Kyle Larson's a 4-1 favorite. Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch are 8-1. Denny Hamlin's a plus 850. Martin Truex Jr. is 10-1. William Byron and Ryan Blaney are 12-1. Alec Bowman and Joey Logano are 14-1. Kevin Harvick 15-1. Tyler Reddick is 16-1. Brad Keselowski and Kurt Busch are 20-1. Ross Chaston's 25-1. Chris Bell, It's 30-1. Chris Boucher, 35-1. Same with Austin Cindric, your last week's winner. Austin Dillon's 40-1. 50-1. Chase Briscoe. 60-1. Harrison Burton. 71. Eric Almirola. Justin Haley. 80-1. Daniel Suarez. Eric Jones. Bubba Wallace. Daniel Hemrick. 100-1. Cole Costa. Ricky Silence Jr. 150-1. Ty Dillon. Todd Gilliland. Michael McDowell. 251's Corey LaJoie. 501's Cody Ware. And 1,001 BJ McLeod, Josh Belicki, and Garrett Smithley. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin plus 850 to win this race. Denny Hamlin's had a good history at Cali, so I'm going to go plus 850 for Denny Hamlin to win the race at California. All right, now I'm going to do a fun activity. College football future coaches. This is something I did in the summer with the 4 major sports. I'm going to do it today with college football, and I'm going to do it maybe on Monday for college basketball. I know it's going to be a busy next few weeks on the podcast with the conference tournaments and then the NCAA tournament and perhaps the next couple months. And then we have potentially baseball coming back. We'll see about that. And then obviously the drafts and then the playoffs in hockey and in basketball. So I want to get this activity done. So this is a fun activity that I decided to do. All right, so I did Power 5 and then the American and the Mountain West. So college football future coaches, here we go. So the AAC, Cincinnati, Mike Denbrock, current offensive coordinator. I think that Fickle moves on at some point. East Carolina, Mike Houston, their current head coach. Houston, Daniel Holgerson, current head coach. Memphis, Ryan Silverfield, current head coach. Navy, Ivan Jasper, current offensive coordinator. South Florida, Jeff Lebby, offensive coordinator, Oklahoma. SMU, Rhett Lashley, current head coach. Temple, Thomas Hammock, head coach, Northern Illinois. Tulane, Josh Henson, offensive coordinator, USC. Tulsa, Mike Norvell, head coach, Florida State. UCF, Gus Malzahn, current head coach. So some movement going on, as you'll notice some trend. ACC, Boston College, Jeff Hafley, current head coach. I think he sticks around. Clemson, Brett Venables, head coach, Oklahoma. Yeah, I've Dabo out of there. Duke, Mike Elko, current head coach. Florida State, Mel Tucker, head coach, Michigan State. Georgia Tech, Jeff Collins, current head coach. Louisville, Scott Satterfield, current head coach. Miami, Mario Cristobal, current head coach. North Carolina, Luke Fickell, head coach, Cincinnati. So I have Fickell leaving Cincinnati for UNC. NC State, Scott Frost, head coach, Nebraska. Change of scenery. Pitt, Sean Clark, head coach, Appalachian State. Syracuse, Greg Schiano, head coach, Rutgers. So I think Schiano bolts again. Virginia, Tony Elliott, current head coach. Virginia Tech, Wes Goodwin, defensive coordinator, Clemson. Wake Forest, Todd Graham, head coach, Hawaii. So I have Wake Forest's current coach going elsewhere, and then I think that Graham gets a higher position. Big Ten, Illinois, Pat Fitzgerald, head coach, Northwestern. Yeah, I just did that. Indiana, Jason Candle, head coach, Toledo. Iowa, Matt Ent, head coach, North Dakota State. Maryland, Ken Niumatolo, head coach, Navy. Yes, I just did that. In-state, he leaves for school in-state. Michigan, Lane Kiffin, head coach, Ole Miss. Let's say Harbaugh is on TV or is in the NFL. Michigan State, Scotty Hazelton, current defensive coordinator. Minnesota, PJ Fleck, current head coach. Nebraska, Craig Bull, head coach, Wyoming. Northwestern, Jeff Monken, head coach, Army. Ohio State, Ryan Day, current head coach. Penn State, Dan Mullen, former Florida and Mississippi State head coach. Purdue, Jeff Brom, current head coach. Rutgers, Steve Adazio, offensive line coach, Texas A&M. Wisconsin, David Doran, head coach, NC State. Big 12, Baylor, Jeff Traylor, head coach, UTSA. Iowa State, Matt Campbell, current head coach. Kansas, Brady Hoke, head coach, San Diego State. I always thought that was a good fit. Kansas State, Chris Kleeman, current head coach. Oklahoma, Mark Stoops, head coach, Kentucky. They stay within the family. Oklahoma State, Chris Peterson, former Washington head coach. Texas, James Franklin, head coach, Penn State. TCU, Sonny Dice, current head coach. Texas Tech, Joey McGuire, current head coach. And West Virginia, Kurt Cignetti, head coach, James Madison. So for Texas, I have Sark out of there. Maybe he gets another job, NFL job, whatever. And then James Franklin goes to Texas and leaves Penn State. Independents, I only did 3. The big 3 in the Independents. Army, I have Nate Woody, their current defensive coordinator, as their coach 5 years now. BYU, Kalani Syatt, their current coach. And in Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, current coach. The Mountain West, Air Force, Mike Tyson, current offensive coordinator. Boise State, Andy Avolis, current head coach. Colorado State, Jay Norvell, current head coach. Fresno State, Jeff Tedford, current head coach. Hawaii, Justin Fry, associate head coach, Ohio State. Nevada, Ken Wilson, current head coach. New Mexico, Bronco Mendenhall, former BYU and Virginia head coach. San Diego State, Jeff Hiklinski, current offensive coordinator. San Jose State, Eric Morris, offensive coordinator, Washington State. UNLV, Marcus Arroyo, current head coach. Utah State, Morgan Scully, defensive coordinator, Utah. And Wyoming, Justin Fuente, former Memphis and Virginia Tech coach. The Pac-12, Arizona, Jed Fish, current head coach. I think they just stay the course and continue its reboot. Arizona State, Brett Bielema, head coach, Illinois. So I have Bielema bouncing to Arizona State. Cal, Justin Wilcox, current head coach. Colorado, Jim McElwain, head coach, Central Michigan. McElwain gets a second chance in the Power 5. Oregon, Dan Lenning, current head coach. Oregon State, Troy Calhoun, head coach, Air Force. So that's where I have Air Force's Calhoun going. Stanford, David Shaw, current head coach. I'm going to say he sticks around. That's pretty a bold call. Here's a good one. UCLA, Mike Gundy, head coach, Oklahoma State. So I have Gundy bouncing to UCLA. Maybe Chip Kelly gets fired or retires or whatever. USC, Lincoln Riley, current head coach. Utah, Kyle Whittingham, current head coach. Washington, Kalen DeBoer, current head coach. Washington State, Jake Dicker, current head coach. SEC, here's the most juiciest of juiciest. Alabama. Dabo Sweeney, head coach, Clemson. Obviously, I have Nick retiring. And arguably the second best coach in the country is Dabo Sweeney. Alabama alma mater. He was a grad assistant there. He has a ton of history, so I'm going to say that if Nick retires, obviously Dabo goes there. Arkansas, Blake Anderson, head coach, Utah State. Logical fit. Auburn, Dave Clawson, head coach, Wake Forest. So that's where I have Clawson going. Florida, Bill Napier, current head coach. Georgia, Kirby Smart, current head coach. So I think Smart bought himself some time with the title. Kentucky, Will Muschamp, co-defensive coordinator, Georgia. LSU, Brian Kelly, current head coach. Mississippi State, Mike Leach, current head coach. Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz, current head coach. Ole Miss, Bill Clark, head coach, UAB. So I have Bill Clark leaving UAB for Ole Miss, as I have Lane leaving Ole Miss for Michigan. South Carolina, Shane Beamer, current head coach. Tennessee, Jamie Chadwell, head coach, Coastal Carolina. Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher, current head coach. And Vanderbilt, Josh Gaddis, offensive coordinator, Miami. So there you have it for the future coaches segment of this show. That was a fun one. All right, now we're going to do news and notes for today. I'm going to try to be quick here. So the Panthers just extended Ian Thomas 3 years, $16.5 million, $8 million guaranteed, so their tight end is back. Eric Bieniemy staying with the Chiefs after interviewing for Ferris' head coaching job, so that is good for the Chiefs. They get their guy back. Kyler and the Cardinals are on the same page. Everything is copacetic between the team and their quarterback. Both sides are exploring a contract extension, so that's good news after some rumblings were out there. John Lynch approached for Thursday Night Football role as Amazon was recruiting the Niners GM for broadcasting role but did not reach a deal. The Kings and the Nuggets locked arms during a moment of silence and celerity with Alex Len and Ukraine ahead of last night's game. So that was pretty neat to see. Wonder how much you'll see that around sports. So Zdeno Chara breaks a record for most games played by an NHL defenseman after he skates in his 1,652nd game on Thursday night, as he breaks Chilios' record. Chris Chilios. The Predators retired Pekka Rinne's number 35 to the Raptors at the Bridgestone Arena. So that was really cool. Brad Marchand welcomed the baby girl, as that's why he was absent from practice. So congrats to Brad Marchand and his family. Joel Embiid pushed for a Bradley Beal deal before acquiring James Harden. Zion doesn't trust David Griffin, as he doesn't see him as a driving force. As now there's a divide between the two sides. Now that looks like we'll see if now that's the next big star available. Kemba Walker not interested in a buyout, despite outside interest from a number of teams. Tyrese Halliburton had a draft request. He told the Cavs and the Hawks not to draft him because of the team's existing backcourts. Karis LeVert out 1 to 2 weeks with the right foot strain, so that's a loss for Cleveland. Carmelo Anthony returned tonight against the Clippers. De'Aaron Fox reportedly generated $1.5 million from his NFT collection before shuttering ill-timed project. So that's crazy. Bronny James signs NIL deal with the he'll design a signature collection with the PSD underwear, so that's pretty neat for LeBron's son. Grambling hires Art Briles as an offensive coordinator, as that's his first job since the 2015 season, and he'll be working under Hugh Jackson at Grambling. And now, non-sports news, we got to talk about the Russia-Ukraine stuff. Joe Biden announces severe sanctions for Russia that exceeded anything that's ever been done. 57 killed, 119 wounded as of yesterday afternoon. So there were explosions heard Friday morning in Kyiv as Russia pushes to attack the Ukraine capital. And Russia's ready to send delegation to talk with Ukraine. So Kyiv, Odessa, Kharkov, Dnipro were the cities that were attacked. So thoughts and prayers go out to Ukraine. And Governor Hochul of New York says New York stands ready to welcome Ukrainian refugees. So again, let's hope that this and sooner rather than later. It's just very unfortunate. And non-related to that, Biden tapped Ketanji Brown Jackson as the first African-American female nominee to Supreme Court. So that's awesome for Brown Jackson. And then Kim Kardashian asks court to ignore Kanye and move forward on divorce. And they were married for a while. And I'm not the biggest fan of keeping up with the Kardashians, but it's a big deal. I'm a big Kanye fan, though. Alrighty. Now I want to talk a little American Idol. It begins Sunday, 8 o'clock, ABC. Ryan Seacrest is going to be your host, as usual. Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie as the judges. They're a great panel together. I think those three work well together. Katy Perry was pregnant last season. I'm sure it's going to be more normal this season with in-person auditions and more of an audience. So there's going to be some interesting subplots to this. It's their 20th season, amazingly enough. They've seen so many big names come through there and become stars. It's obviously Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, Chris Daughtry, Jordan Sparks. Daughtry was still one of those four that did not win. And there's a lot of other big names that came through Idol and became big time. I think Carrie Underwood's probably the most famous winner they've ever had. Kelly Clarkson's now more in the talk show host business now. She has her own TV show as she has moved on to a different phase of her life. And Katy Perry, in terms of the judges right now, Katy Perry has some new music out. Luke's doing his thing. And Lionel is just doing his thing too, as a good mix of judges, and I'm looking forward to the season. We'll talk about how the show plays out on Monday's podcast. All right, best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I'm actually going to go to hockey for best bet. I don't think I've done that in probably 2 months. Probably more than that, if anything. I'm going to go over 6.5 in the Blackhawks-Devils game. I just think that is a very, very low total. And the Devils and the Blackhawks are teams that can score a little bit. I won yesterday with Winthrop, so close that. Let's see if I can close out the week 3-2. So over 6.5 at plus 104. That's crazy. I love that pick. I'm gonna go lay a unit on over 6.5 between the Devils and the Blackhawks for my best bet of the day. And then, like I said, the Blackhawks and Devils are teams that can score, and they're both very prone to giving up goals. And I think that latter part of what I just said is more important, and that's why I took the over. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything. Hockey, basketball, college, golf, NASCAR, Idol, news and notes, and best bet. And then starting on Sunday, I'm going to be doing the conference tournament preview shows for college basketball. The Patriot League one will begin on Tuesday. The Atlantic Sun is probably next week too. I believe that one is will start Monday or Tuesday as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun couple days coming up on the podcast, and very busy as well. And I want to do a NFL series as well starting next week, as everybody's heading into free agency and such. So there's a potential of two series is overlapping for their recordings as well. Because I was supposed to do this football one maybe like a week ago. But they're going to overlap. It's not a big deal. So I hope you guys have a great day, everyone. And a great weekend, too.